Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now, today's first story comes from Middle Explanation, and of course it comes with an update titled, "My 26 female co-worker found my boyfriend 27 male on Tinder, and he swears up and down he doesn't use it." I'm going to try and make this short and sweet. I met my boyfriend 27 male 11 months ago, and we've been officially dating since December. We were exclusive before, but never had the conversation. I just moved to a new city last week and I work at a coffee shop. My boyfriend stayed at mine last night, so he dropped me off at work before his gig today. I made him a brew, he stayed a bit to chat, and then he left. A bit later, one of my favorite co-workers pulled me aside and said she had seen my boyfriend on Tinder a little bit ago. I thought she was absolutely mental. My boyfriend looks like a cuter version of Ed Sheeran, so it's not really uncommon for people to think they know him or make comments and whatnot. I wasn't really bothered by it. However, I got a text off her with a screenshot of my boyfriend's Tinder profile. The main picture was from November, so about 3 months after we met. Her flatmate had apparently just broken up with her ex and they were making her a new profile, of course. My boyfriend was one of the first people to pop up. I don't use Tinder and I don't know what that means, but I don't think it's good. I sent my boyfriend the screenshot and he said he hadn't used it in nearly a year, so I guess that could be true if you count November as nearly a year. I honestly wouldn't be that upset if he was using it in November, but he swore up and down that the picture was from before we met and that he doesn't have it on his phone. The picture was definitely from November, but that's besides the point anyways. I'm upset that he's active on Tinder and lying to me to my face about it. He pretty much dismissed my concerns and said he was going back to bed. In his defense, it was quite late when we've chatted and we've had a long weekend, so I understand a bit. I don't really know where I'm at right now. Betrayed, confused, embarrassed. Is it at all possible that he isn't active on Tinder? Should I dump him? Hear him out? I completely trusted him before now and I don't know where my head is at. Now, I gotta be honest, I don't know how the Tinder app works. Never been on it, so... But the fact that there's a picture on there from after you guys had met and sort of were together, there's got to be some lying going on, right? So yes, he could absolutely be active on Tinder. There could be other possibilities as well, stolen profile pictures, all this kind of thing. I'm not sure if it's going to be that, but obviously there's that small chance of that. So I think an honest and open conversation does have to be had here and try to get the truth out of him in some way, if you want to go that far, of course. But I think it certainly is suspicious. But before we go to the update, Arbitrary Sock says, "I don't think you can show up on Tinder if you aren't actively using the app. I mean, you might if the last time you were on it was like 3 days ago, but not a year as far as I know." Interesting. A deleted user says, "Everyone is right on this. You don't show up unless you are actively using the app, and since it was a recent photo, that's even more obvious. Unless he came forward and he straight up admitted, yeah, I downloaded it with my buddy and showed him what it's like and must have forgotten to delete it. He is probably lying to you. Downloading Tinder doesn't mean he's 100% cheating, but if he's lying, which he clearly is, he is probably cheating/trying to." Jill Tro says, "You believe yourself. You know the photo was from November and you know he's lying. What you do with that info is up to you." Spiderfood says, "You are 100% certain the photo is from after you started dating, which means you are 100% certain your boyfriend is lying to your face, which means you should be 100% dumping his lying ass." Obedicta says, "Now technically deleting Tinder does not delete your account. However, your boyfriend is using a picture from after you started dating and lying to you. At best, he's trying to downplay 3 to 4 months of possible cheating. Were you two exclusive then? At worst, he continued to cheat for a long time. I'd be reconsidering the relationship certainly, and if you'd like to make it work, he will need to earn back your trust." OP replies saying, "I'd be hurt by it for sure, but we hadn't discussed it, so I'm not sure if I'd be considering it cheating. Definitely downplaying though, as when we did have the exclusivity chat last December, he said he hadn't seen anyone else since we met. Obedictor then replies that saying, so since you didn't have the exclusivity chat, it's arguably not cheating, and it's entirely possible he hadn't seen anyone. Not everyone has a lot of luck on Tinder. Regardless, he needs to work on regaining your trust for lying about the photo and how long he had the Tinder profile in action. A good start would be actually deleting that profile. If he hasn't deleted it or the chats already, see if you can look at them. And one more from Haku, who says, bit of a long shot here, but are the profile pics on his Tinder also on Facebook? If they are, it's possible that he is a victim of a scam bot program. It happened to me, where a botting software took some of my profile pictures and made a fake Tinder account, so it could say shit like, hey, check out my live stream webcam, and the like to the people I matched with. I had no idea about it until a girl I had been talking to off Tinder told me. So then OP went on to update the post, which said, my 26 female last post didn't get too much attention, but I figured I would update as 1, it's cathartic, and 2, things got pretty intense. Essentially, if you didn't read the last post, my co-worker's housemate spotted my boyfriend 27 male on Tinder. He said he didn't use it, which was clearly a lie, as many of you stated. I truly wanted to believe him when I made the post, even though my gut and the evidence really told me not to. So I made a fake profile with 1 picture and no bio and searched for him with no luck. I matched people to keep the algorithm working but didn't send messages. I left it at that for the time being. I saw my boyfriend last weekend and I still didn't get an explanation or an apology or anything even near the truth, so I decided to snoop, edit through his messages. I'm not proud and I owned up to it, partially because he had some weird exchanges with girls. This isn't important to the story, but when I confronted him, I got half-assed responses and we continued to hardly speak throughout this week. He also is currently at a festival this weekend, so I was still feeling even more insecure. I had no explanation for 2 possible cheating situations now. I was a bit tipsy last night and decided to bring up the old fake profile, setting the distance on maximum to pick up the festival location, and what do you know? He appeared. I was too afraid to match him, so I messaged my co-worker's housemate. She stopped by my job the other day to introduce herself and apologize for the whole situation. Apparently, her ex-boyfriend also had a Tinder profile, and that's why she ended things with him. She said she had my back and would keep an eye out for me. I thought she wouldn't find him when I told her, as I was under the impression that profiles disappear after you swipe left. However, she found him and they matched. I text my boyfriend immediately saying it was over because he's still on Tinder, and here's where it gets insane. He responded that his best mate has apparently been chatting on Tinder with a girl from my country and living in my current city. My co-worker's housemate is from my country, which is super rare. It honestly wouldn't surprise me that she would get on with my boyfriend's best mate. I know she has friends that live in his town and is there from time to time, because she said that's why his profile came up straight away. Anyway, when my boyfriend's mate went on about her, he thought I was being a catfish, so apparently he decided to download Tinder at the festival to try and catch me. Honestly, I can sort of see why he'd think that in a roundabout way because we are very similar. Still, I told him that his accusation and excuse for being on Tinder was ridiculous, although I owned up to making a fake profile to try and find him. I also said I know the girl who was chatting his mate because she's the one who found him originally and matched with him again today. I then reiterated that we were through because there is obviously zero trust between the two of us. I don't think I was in the right in snooping and making a fake profile, but I felt as if I deserved the truth. I also asked if I needed to go to the gum clinic, even though I'll go anyways. He said he would respond tomorrow, but it's well into the afternoon and nothing. Closure is overrated, I guess. I'm pretty numb to the whole situation, although I'm gutted that I'll lose our mutual friends because I'll be the crazy ex who catfished their mate. And Stop Hitting Thyself said, I don't see why you'll lose your friends. Tell them the truth and dismiss his friend's profile as irrelevant to the situation. Say that he's been active on Tinder throughout your relationship and you don't know what his friend has to do with anything because that girl is real and this is between you and your ex, not his friend, to which OP said, unfortunately, they are all at a music festival together. I've messaged one who knows about the original situation and no response. I'm sure he's telling them lies as I write this, as that's what he's been doing for our entire relationship. Thanks though, I appreciate it. Now, what would you do if you found yourself in a similar situation? What could you say to the friends to get them back on your side? I don't know why they would turn against OP anyway. She's the one that's been, strung along while her boyfriend's clearly been on Tinder looking for people. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from Solely Splendid, who says, he called me his soulmate, but has a girlfriend. I've only known my best friend for 8 months, and I'm in love with him. Before I get into the backstory to give you guys as many details as I can, let me state the obvious. I'm aware that pursuing a relationship with a man who's already in a relationship is wrong, and I'm clearly a bad person because of this. But this is just how my life happened, and maybe you can help me out. So, about 8 months ago, I met my friend. We'll call him Fino, I guess. I had just started a new PT job, and he was one of the many new faces I'd grow to know and love. Except his was different. We immediately clicked and became easy friends. Every conversation at work was easy, filled with laughter, finishing the other's thoughts, etc. Then we began to have conversations outside of work through messaging. They were perfect. Music, movies, past, everything and anything were topics for us, and they were always thrilling. Next, we started hanging out in person, alone, outside of work. He stands close to me, he holds my hand, he touches my back, moves my hair from my face, caresses my cheek, all the good things. We see each other almost every day currently. None of our friends know. Before I knew it, I was crushing really hard and fast, and Fino, so nice and kind and intelligent and 10 years older than me, had a girlfriend. Immediately, I thought how I should stop talking and obviously flirting, because we were flirting. But he didn't stop, and I didn't want to either because the connection was so much more than similarities. It was synchronicity. It was soulmate level. Something had been stirred inside, things were changing and opening up in my heart and mind that I never noticed before him. So I told myself we could just be friends. This is not what happened. He told me he knows I am his soulmate. He told me he's unhappy with his girlfriend, but he's suffering some emotional issues and he feels responsible for her. He doesn't want to destroy her life. He loves her in a way, but he wants to marry me. He tries to kiss me. He holds my hand. I hold his. I like it. It's now 8 months. He's still with his girlfriend and I'm stupidly trusting him. He asked me for time and promised he isn't full of shit, but everything I read and everyone I speak with tells me I shouldn't trust him. I shouldn't wait. How can I not wait for him if he is my soulmate? Anyway, does anyone have any experience in a similar situation? How did you handle it? I haven't let him kiss me, although I want to, or anything else. We're both adults and the sexual tension is there, but I don't want to make it worse than it already is. And we have a small update in a moment. Now, I'm afraid you're only going to hear what you've heard time and time again from other people, friends around you, I guess, is that you don't need to be a part of this. I don't even know whether to call it a relationship or not. It feels to me like he is using you. Just take a step back and look at this from the bigger picture. He's willing to cheat on his current girlfriend with you. If he's willing to do that with her, he's going to do it to you as well. If he was truly his soulmate, he would have left that girl for you a long time ago. He wouldn't be coming up with bullshit excuses. How long would, if you was to stay with him, would he drag this out for? Probably indefinitely while he's getting what he wants from you, and then would eventually turn around and say no, he decided he loves his girlfriend too much, etc., needs to break it off from you. And that was a similarity from a previous story where something like this was going on as well. But what keeps popping into my head time and time again is the way that they're willing to portray someone that they love or previously loved in a way like this, that is so easy for them, that they're telling you that you're their soulmate, touching you, holding your hand, all this stuff. Well, there's someone at home that trusts this person, someone that loves this person, and they're willing to break their trust like that. That's bloody awful. But C. Vega says you realize that you are getting played and he has no plans of leaving his girlfriend, right? If you were his soulmate, you would have been his girlfriend, not the other girl. Walk away from this guy, and next time when it smells like bullshit, it is bullshit. Sorry to be harsh, but in this particular case, you need some harsh realities as you have managed to convince yourself that this guy's lies are true. OP replies saying, "You are not the one to be sorry. Thanks for your honesty. I totally see that I've been playing into the fantasy, and I know I let myself because I liked it. But now I guess I just need help getting out because my feelings are battling with logic and I've gotten so tangled." Guy says if his current relationship is really messed up and is only staying for her sake, that isn't good for him or her. And like the other answers here, I don't think he 100% has been stringing you along for fun. An easy way to get things to go forward or end is an ultimatum. Either he breaks up with his girlfriend by the end of the month or you stop talking to him at all. It is what is best for her as well, so don't feel guilty. Mermaid Annie says you already know the answers to the questions you are asking. You just want validation. It's understandable. I too have felt the allure of forbidden love. I'm not going to go into deep detail. I'll just say this. Walk away. Cut off all contact cold turkey. If he truly loves you, he'll do the right thing. If he doesn't, well, then you have walked away from a toxic and damaging relationship. I wish you all the best, hon. True love is worth fighting for. Make sure you are fighting the right battle. Mr. Jelly says, even if he did leave her for you, wouldn't it fuck with you that you're with someone who is willing to cheat? If I was in your situation, it'd be in the back of my mind. Who's to say you don't become like how his wife is now? I'm sure she doesn't know someone is cheating on her, and she might even think things are fine between them if he is a good manipulator. Not worth getting into a relationship with a cheater in my opinion. You'll never be able to know 100% they aren't cheating on you. And one more from Elliptical Tangent who says, I think you're not doing anything wrong, and I think you were smart to keep it platonic until he's free to be yours. As a man, I can't see maintaining a lie like this for 8 months if there's no physical payoff, but it's better to keep the relationship within bounds until he can be with you. I have some advice for him. Many people can only dream of finding a soulmate, and he's about to let her slip away out of a feeling of responsibility to another woman. If he wants to move on, he must move on. If he can't move on until his girlfriend is emotionally stable, she will remain unstable. He's not responsible for her or her actions. Good luck. And OP replies to that one saying, that's what makes me believe he isn't a complete arsehole. We've been seeing each other for like the 6 to 8 months we've known each other, and there's been no physical payoff as you say. So why would this just be about sex for him? I'm going to separate myself from him for a while and see what happens. I don't think he's a piece of shit. I think he really is battling with a responsibility he thinks he holds for his girlfriend's issues. But I know that's not my weight to carry, and I can't go on being emotionally attached to someone like that. So then OP did have that small update which says, I had a talk with him and told him I couldn't keep hanging out with him alone and being his midnight chat because it's emotionally excruciating. He reacted just as I thought he would. He apologized profusely, beat himself up about it, and told me he loves me and is sure about it, but that his life is just too messy right now and he needs time to fix it. I feel heartbroken and horrible because I know that if he felt the same way I do about him, then he wouldn't put me aside. But I did what needed to be done, and now I have to find a way to heal, I guess. Thank you for all the advice. You helped me find courage. As I said, we have seen these situations in the past where a new relationship starts to form, but there's someone on the outside being hurt somewhere along the line, his current girlfriend. And yes, I know he's saying, he feels responsible for her, but I think what they're both doing in this situation isn't helpful at all either. He's saying he feels responsible for her. Imagine if she found out about what he's been up to. He said in that post he doesn't want to destroy her life and he loves her in a way, but he's doing this behind her back. Obviously, I don't know the intricacies of their relationship, but to me, I think it's a scummy thing to do. But what do you guys make of this situation? What would you advise OP to do? Did they do the right thing by confronting it and now they've basically split up? Do you agree with some of the comments and says OP was not at fault and that they should fight for their love if that's what they really want to do? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, support and time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. Absolutely incredible. Don't forget mark-narrations.com if you want to pick out your favorite podcast, if you prefer that format to listen to. Totally up to you. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care. Much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs. some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face. Throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today